When the Apple Watch Ultra first came out, there were two features in particular that caught my attention: a bigger display and a longer battery life. And now, after using the Apple Watch Ultra for about 6 months, those things definitely stand out in my experience, but there's plenty of other features that impress me, and also ones that I haven't used as much as I thought I would. Let's take a closer look at my pros and cons of the Apple Watch Ultra 6 months later. Design is an easy place to start because, look at this thing. It's a huge smartwatch, definitely up there with the biggest I've ever tested. The pro of this for me is the flat 49mm display, which just gives me so much real estate to see my notifications, follow map routes, have fun with my face complications, and my personal favorite, get an extra metric for my workouts. Whatever kind of activity I'm doing, I can always see my progress or heart rate easily at a glance. The con of the big size for me is that the watch isn't very comfortable to sleep with. I still do it, but it gets a little irritating, and sometimes I do take it off in the middle of the night. To that point, I don't think it looks as nice dressed up with my personal style. It looks rugged and sporty, which is great for casual use, but for work or a nice event, the regular Apple Watch just looks more minimalistic, and it matches with nicer watch bands. Speaking of watch bands, I have to say I just did not vibe with any of the Apple Watch Ultra bands. I tried all three. The scuba band is uncomfortable unless you're in the water, and I couldn't find the right fit with the Alpine loop. The trail loop got so dirty so quickly that I just couldn't use it anymore. I used the regular Apple Sport loop or the Sport band 99% of the time. Now, another exclusive feature and pro of the Apple Watch Ultra is the action button. I think the action button is a brilliant addition for the Apple Watch. As a reminder, it's an extra launcher for a tool or function of your choice. I use it for both launching a workout and having quick access to a flashlight, which I think is honestly one of the most underrated Apple Watch features in general, but that's just to say that I like the action button. There is a con for me though, and that is that I wish you could make the action button open any app or tool, even from third parties. I also wish that you can assign it different functions based on your focus status. Hopefully these could come in a software update in the future. While I'm talking about the action button, it's a good time to mention the Apple Watch Ultra's safety features, which can be accessed with a long press of the button. The best safety feature, in my opinion, is the siren. I am just so happy to have it. Now, I haven't had to actually use it, but living in the city, walking alone at night, it's very reassuring to me, and I wish more smartwatches had a similar feature. Not too long ago, I actually challenged myself to replace my iPhone with the Apple Watch Ultra, and I don't think I would have felt as comfortable embarking on the experiment if not for the siren and emergency calling on my wrist. You should definitely check out that entire video to see some of the other ways I relied on the Apple Watch Ultra in my daily life. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't taken the Apple Watch Ultra out camping or hiking or in any situation where other safety features would come in handy, such as the trackback function. Similarly, I haven't really needed to leverage the advanced GPS system packed in here. It's not like this watch has the emergency SOS via satellite like the iPhone 14 either. I kind of feel guilty almost, and that's not to say that I won't go on a real adventure soon when the weather gets nicer, so let me know if you'd want to see a video on that. For now, I'm just not using the watch to its full potential in a sense. Of course, I need to talk about the battery life experience I've had. I'll start with saying that my watch's battery health is still at 100% after 6 months, which is awesome. I use the Apple Watch Ultra's optimized charge limit feature that automatically stops charging your Apple Watch Ultra's battery at an optimized point, not just pause it, even when you leave it on the charger for a while and forget about it. As for how often I'm charging my Apple Watch Ultra, I ended up getting LTE enabled, so the battery life definitely does not last as long compared to when I first got it. Without using LTE, I would get 2 full days pretty much, and now I'm closer to the actual 36-hour estimate. I also forget to use low power mode a lot, and that's on me, but I'm still surprised that I didn't end up taking advantage of it as much as I thought I would. I guess that goes back to not using it in remote situations. I pretty much always have a charger nearby, so I'm not worried about it dying. I must also mention that while the Apple Watch Ultra's battery life is great by Apple Watch standards, it still pales compared to a lot of other smartwatches on the market, and smartwatches that are significantly less expensive, I might add. That takes me to price, which doesn't have any less sticker shock 6 months later. At $799, the Apple Watch Ultra is quite expensive, and me, someone who strives to give buying advice based on needs and value, I do think the margin of people who will actually make use of the Apple Watch Ultra to the full extent is much, much narrower compared to people who would be just as suited by the Apple Watch Series 8 or even the Apple Watch SE, which at $249 is an absolute bargain. Don't get me wrong, it's been very fun flashing the Ultra around, and also not having to be gentle with it thanks to the titanium casing. I've said it before and I will say it again. The Apple Watch Ultra comes as close to standing in for a smartphone as any Apple Watch before it, if not any smartwatch ever. But it's not perfect, and I think it's important to remember that this is a first-gen device in a way, so there are some upgrades I still want to see. More options for the action button, some different included bands, and even a longer battery life are some of them. Emergency SOS via satellite would be a game changer as well. For now, I'm planning to switch back to the Apple Watch Series 8 to see if I truly miss the Apple Watch Ultra and all its features. I'd love to hear about your Apple Watch Ultra experience in the comments. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Tom's Guide, and as always, I'm at Kate Kozich. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.